And here, ladies and gentlemen, at the 12 o'clock position on Metropolis, we have our blue Terran player from LGIM. It is Dreamer TT. And his opponent at the 6 o'clock position from Team SCV Life, their last hope, trying to not just win this game, but whoever else LGIM would send out. It's our Red Zerg player, Revival.
All right, so again, LGIM still has 9 GSL Codes titles among their roster that they could still send out. I think that math is right. Is it 4 for MVP, 3 for Nestea, and 2 for MC?
Yes,
that's 9.
I believe so.
Okay, all right, that's 9, and soon could be 10. As MVP is going to be playing Life very soon for that Code S championship number 5 for him.
He's pretty good at that whole GSL thing.
Yep, that's pretty ridiculous. This is his 7th Code S finals. He's won 4 of them. Is that, wait, that can't be right. He's only lost to MMA, I thought, in the final.
Well, no, I thought he was, oh, now you're going to make me think, and thinking is not good. No, when he beat Squirrel, isn't he 5 out of 6?
Is he 5 out of 6? He's got 5 titles? Oh my God, that just sounds wrong.
It's either 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 6. And now I know, I apologize, but I don't have everything in front of me right now. Yes, Josh is on the case.
Okay, well, MVP, I know that's his 7th appearance because I've read it like 25 times now. He must have 5 titles because I think MVP is the only one to actually beat him, or MMA, excuse me. It would be bad if MVP was the only one to beat MVP because then, you know, he would still win. He would still be the winner.
That's right.
But
MMA happens. He'd also be the loser, though.
Yeah, that's true. He would lose and win at the same time.
Okay,
Jung Hyun.
Dreamer TT, he's going for a 1 Rax Gasless Fast Expand. Now, Metropolis has lent itself to very weird DVZs. I shouldn't even say weird, just very exciting Raven-based compositions, usually involving battle cruisers later on. So hopefully we'll get some sort of a crazy game along those lines, especially, you know, obviously Dreamer TT practices with MVP or gets advice from him at the very least, and that's the way MVP plays here. So I expect fireworks to fly if we make it to the late game.
Okay, so his first GSL title was 2011 January. He 4-0'd Marine King.
Okay.
His second title was in April of 2011. He 4-2'd Marine King.
Okay.
His third GSL title was 2011 August. He 4-1'd OGS Top.
Okay.
So that's
pretty
1,
good TBT.
2, 3. He got 3rd to 4th Code S and lost to Leenock. And then he won against Squirtle 4-3. So it looks like he only has 4 titles. He gets 2nd to MMA.
So he's 4. So he's 4 out of 5 so far, and this is going to be his 6th appearance.
It must be. Okay. Interesting.
All right. Well, Dreamer TT pokes in with a Marine and an SCV. Doesn't draw anything out of his opponent, as 2 Zerglings and the Queen were exactly what Revival is planning to produce anyway. Next expansion is just about finished for Dreamer TT though, and he has double gas. So I love large mech strategies here. I would like to see this game go that way because I think it'd be an exciting way to continue the series. But you know, I don't know. Maybe the thought process from Doa rubbed off on me because I definitely am more excited to see mech than anything else from a Terran in TVZ.
Well, mech has more explosions. It's got splash damage. It's got, you know, history. Mech is obviously a very popular Brood War strategy way in the past because Brood War isn't played by anyone anymore, ever. Just kidding. But one of my fondest memories of mech TVZ is a Metalopolis game between a man named Idra and another man named Silver. And I don't know if any of you remember Silver. Do you even remember Silver, Kevin?
No.
Complexity Silver was the very first player that Complexity signed. You really don't remember Silver?
No, I don't.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so Complexity picked up Silver as their first player. They were a little late on the bandwagon. EG already had their roster for Brood War. Complexity was basically putting the nail in the coffin on its WoW teams and said, okay, we need StarCraft because that's the new thing, right? And then it just got so big, Complexity's like, oh man, we're way behind. Let's buy Nova. And that's where Ryan, Anti-Mage, Style Life, and all those guys came from.
I remember
but before that, they had Silver, who went to MLG DC and performed very well. He qualified for IEM New York and decided he wanted to quit playing StarCraft that week. so he was replaced by Suggy, not Suppy.
Yeah,
Suggy, who's Suggy. Even way back still, who was on Root Gaming. But Silver was a really, really good Terran player. He did abuse mech quite a lot against Zerg, and he just a really good game on Metalopolis where he just had tanks and Hellions and Thors, and Idra couldn't do anything and said, apologize for playing that race. That is one of those famous instances.
Okay.
Silver was the brunt of the Idra rage, and then Silver won that game anyway, so that's always just a joy to watch. And I hope that you guys will YouTube search Silver Idra and just try to find some of those games, because there were a series of them.
Sure.
Silver was kind of that guy that just, wherever Idra showed up in qualifiers or something like that, Silver just took him out. Mask was another one who would take out Idra from time to time.
Inflow Mask.
Yep.
Okay, so I actually want to point out to everyone that Revival's doing the Hyun build. The Hyun build that's become very familiar to us over the course of the last few fight clubs, where he ends up going for the 6-minute hatch, Roachhorn right afterwards, then into double evolution chamber in about a minute, and he even attacks with the same 7 roaches through the middle of the map. So I would expect in a few minutes here that we are going to see or not a few minutes, after he gets +1 weapons after this, he'll end up going into a Baneling Nest, eventually Layer Tech, and, you know, I mean, if he keeps going with what Hyun loves to do.
All right, if he does, then he has a good shot at winning, because that's, you know, very, very great build from Hyun that's caused him to win a lot of fight clubs. So far, he did just beat Liquid Seed this week 5-1, and Mech is the only thing that seems to be able to draw blood on Hyun when he does this build, so Dreamer TT might want to take a page out of the book. It looks like he is going to just get started with some Marines, Hellions, and a Banshee. He's going to start moving across with some SCVs in tow, as well as a sort of repair force, and has potential to do a lot of damage if the Hellions can get in to the juicy drone part of the base there.
Revival does already have Spore Crawlers up, so the Banshees won't be too much of a threat, but it's still going to be difficult to hold this off. There are a few roaches out, and it looks like they're going to start taking a little bit of damage here from the Hellions, but the rest of the units have caught up. The Banshees taking a bit of fire from the Spore Crawlers. They have to wait until that gets cleaned up before they can advance any further, and 7 more roaches are being produced, but Revival doesn't have a whole lot right now.
Okay, Revival, his drones are very exposed as well, and it's actually a good thing for him that Dreamer TT was kind of focusing on that Queen for as long as he did, because these drones are just wide open. Now the roaches are starting to pop out. He has a slight chance of being able to battle back against this, but a lot of drones have already been taken out. These Banshees are doing quite good work overhead, and this is looking pretty grim for Revival already. He's making a wave of Lings, but they're just starting, and these Hellions have the SCVs there to repair as well. That is going to be tough for Revival to fight back against.
Okay, well, Dreamer TT's done quite a bit of damage. How many workers killed? 22. Ooh. Current worker count, 35 to 42. So Dreamer TT actually cut workers to get to this attack. So there is a potential for Revival, if he can stabilize, to start to make his way back into this, given the lack of SCVs out of his opponent, but it's still going to be difficult.
Yep, and these Banshees are going to battle down this final Queen that just popped out. Spore Crawlers finally making their reposition to try and save that hatchery from the Banshees, but if more Hellions and Marines are on the way, it looks like they are on that mini-map. They could still be able to finish off that hatchery, even though, you know, the Spore Crawlers would be able to ward away the Banshees, but Hellions and Marines can just walk right past those. The 3 Banshees do want to try and stay alive. They don't have Cloak. I feel like Cloak, if it were researching during this, might even benefit him even more, but the Spore Crawlers have pretty good coverage here, and the Banshees, looks like they don't want to rejoin their force. Actually just going to try and find a soft spot and go after this hatchery again.
Yeah, but the Spore Crawler can root itself very quickly, of course. This hatchery is at 500 hit points, and the Queen actually goes down that was defending it as well. Spore Crawler going to start shooting down those Banshees. A couple of them getting very, very low.
Yeah, what are the kills looking like on these Banshees? Let's take a look. 7, 16, and 16? Oh
yes.
My goodness, 39 kills between 3 Banshees, 13 apiece. Pretty hot there. Pretty good job by Dreamer TT. He's still got some forces just kind of hanging out, waiting for those Banshees to come back. He should probably just, you know, maybe even form up and get some repairs going on those guys and just, you know, redouble his effort there. There are some SCVs actually showing up to try and get some repairs done. There they are, and he is going to continue this push. It looks like a bunch of Speedlings running around the side. I don't think Dreamer TT actually saw that, as he did not have control of that tower, and the vision on those Marines is not so great. We've got these supply depots actually down important still, but Revival does not want to die right here, so he has to send those Lings back to try and defend.
All right, so Dreamer TT just wants to keep the pressure on the whole time. The SCVs are actually falling pretty quickly, but there's so many Banshees overhead, and the DPS is so high, even a huge number of Queens, it's going to take a while to be able to work their way through those Banshees.
Yeah, those Banshees are doing their job quite well. One Banshee does get taken out by the Spore Crawlers. The Queen moves forward quite a bit. There's no Spore Crawlers nearby for him, so he's going to go down. These Banshees are just going crazy on the drones in here on the main. He's actually going to try and take out the Roach one very quickly, and he can because there's no Spore Crawlers here to relocate, and the Queens are basically all dead. He's going to be able to finish off this Spore before it can do any damage, and if he can just sit on top of that Roach Warren a little longer, he could take it out. It looks like he is going to go focus again on the anti-air, though, finish off these Queens, and double back to the Roach Warren. He needs to commit. Oh, there, he just finished off that building as well.
Yep, and he should be able to get the Roach Warren here in a second. There's another Queen for him to be able to pick away at, too, so I'm sure he'll take that opportunity whenever he can. One Banshee's getting very, very low again. 22 kills, 14 kills, 13 kills, 20 kills. It's a staggering amount of death that those Banshees have inflicted.
Yeah, and they're still killing Queens. They have a chance to kill that Roach Warren just right now and keep Revival from being able to do anything on the ground either, but instead they are just taking forever to try and kill that lair. It's kind of an interesting decision. 2 more Banshees showing up now to join in the fun because, hey, why not? But suddenly Revival's Spore Crawler coverage is much better. He's going to try and find that soft spot again on the side. Might be able to take out the Extractor, may even get a sweet enough spot, yes, to actually keep working on that lair. I don't know if he's ever going to get it, though. It's got a lot of HP, down to only 400 now, though.
Yeah, 200 and falling, 100, another Banshee goes down, and that is well worth it. Bye-bye lair tech. Looks like Revival was able to sneak an infestation pit out there in time, and Dreamer TT has been just in absolute control of this game.
These Banshees are ridiculous. Notice no Queens building at the other hatcheries at all. He's not even going to try and follow this up to finish the Banshees for good, so Dreamer TT could just keep going with that. Either way, we've got a lot of Marines and Hellions. You know, the Banshees have been busy, but it's not too hard to macro back up at home when the Banshees are doing all the work and really don't have anything to contest them. So all these Marines are here. It looks like they do not have stim, or at least he has not used it yet. They do have their combat shields, though, so they are going to stand up a little bit longer than without those upgrades, and the Lings and Roaches should be able to thin those out pretty quickly.
Yeah, so that was a pretty efficient way to clean those up, and Revival needs a little bit more than that, though. He's lost 42 workers this game. He's still only down 7 workers overall, but, you know, Dreamer TT's on 4 command centers. I'm a little surprised he hasn't decided to at least take his 3rd and 4th bases or anywhere. He could just take the island. It doesn't matter. I don't know. So Dreamer TT, while he's certainly gained himself an advantage, and he's in firm control of this game, and he is in the lead, could be farther ahead, I think.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I think he was kind of banking on Revival just leaving the game if he killed his lair. Obviously didn't happen that way, so he is going to have to start this follow-through process. You can see his production tab is full of stuff, upgrades and units being produced from everything, more production facilities coming up, and supply depots to be able to give him that cap space to be able to work with. The Queen is going to go down. Banshee scores another kill. These Queens just cannot survive in this game. Look at the Roach Warren actually bleeding out.
Yep.
At the main, it's actually going to die.
Oh, no. Bye-bye. So he did enough damage to it that when the creep proceeded, it's... wait, is there creep just on the edge of it?
It must count. It has to count. The Banshee can take 1 shot literally at it.
Once. Please go hit that once.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh,
I have not seen that until Anna Transfusion, so now it's going to live. That's crazy.
All right. I'll allow it.
He's got that tumor. It's basically like a blood transfusion. It's just like an organ donor there. It's like, here, have this creep tumor so you can live.
Live, Roach Warren, live.
And that's crazy.
Okay, well.
5 coming up already, too.
Yeah, creep tumor's going down. He did finish that infestation pit a long time ago, so Revival trying to just kind of accelerate himself up to tier 3 tech and stabilize on Broodlords or Ultralisks or something like that. It's still going to be difficult, though.
Yeah, all these drones still getting killed by just a handful of Hellions. 49 workers killed in total by Dreamer TT. This is just an epic clawback by Revival to try and stay in this game. He's on even bases with Dreamer TT, but you know, inferior upgrades. Planetary Fortress coming up now at the 3rd for Dreamer TT. He's got a lot of ground units. If you just go into just below where we're looking now, and see what he's got massed up here. A lot of Marines, a couple of tanks, just 1 tank actually, and some medevacs. He could just load up everything hop in the car and go, you know what I mean? And
yeah.
just hop into the main and finish off whatever's there and have a good shot at just winning outright.
Infestor Ultralisk would be nice at this stage. Banelings as well. Anything that deals out splash damage, because there's... oh, there we go. The rest of the tanks are gathering up. I was about to say, there wasn't too many tanks when we initially evaluated the army. But, all right. Dreamer TT rolling through the middle of the map. There are some infestors up. Hive Tech is done as well, so we could start moving into Tier 3, and it looks like Adrenal Glands are going to be the first use of that Hive Tech.
Yep, +2/+2 upgrades on the way as well, and it looks like he actually will snag some tank kills basically for free.
Wow.
As Dreamer TT is on the retreat, he just was not sieged up, and,
oh boy,
and Revival took advantage of it. He's going to kill quite a lot of tanks, and these Marines are going to have to stim away. One medevac did actually unload. There's another one over by that 4th base trying to take out that hatch, so Revival is still not out of the woods, even though he did kill those tanks for basically nothing. He's still got 8 Marines here to deal with.
Yeah, so he couldn't pursue the army, unfortunately, and lose his bases in the meantime.
So all these infestors are out, but have not had a chance to actually do any fighting yet. The Lings just doing their damage against those tanks. Now they can kill off a medevac at least, so that's one nice benefit of having those infestors. You get some anti-air capability. That drop continues on into the 3rd base. That medevac is definitely going to die to the spore crawlers, but more drones are being gunned down by Dreamer TT.
That's right. What's the total workers killed at? 65.
Look at the bank of Revival.
Yeah. Where are his... I mean, he doesn't really have a lot of high-tech choices. I mean, maybe just Mass Infestor at this point, because he certainly has the gas to support that. He could actually produce, what, 12 Infestors at the same time now? So.
Or something like 100 Roaches, because they cost nothing.
Yeah.
But it looks like Dreamer TT is not going to waste too much time. He's just going to keep pressing forward. He's establishing a 4th base. It looks like it's already saturated, in fact, and he's just going to clear some creep tumors on the way into that 4th of Revival. This time he is going to siege up along the way so that that tragic tank loss doesn't happen again. Big fungal there from Revival, though, is going to catch a lot of bio units. Fortunately for Dreamer TT, he brought more than he needed, and he can continue forward and leapfrog these tanks closer and closer to Revival's base.
Now that hatchery is going to get canceled again, and it does get canceled just right at the very end. Banelings attempting to morph for a flank. I don't think Dreamer TT saw those, so maybe those will come in handy here soon. The Ultralisk Cavern is nearly done, but with the Banelings and the mass amount of Zerglings that were just produced, it's going to be difficult to make more than 2 Ultras.
Okay, tanks sieging up again. It looks like a fungal hit a pretty good-sized blob of Dreamer TT's units. Infestor is going to get picked off there by the Marines and Marauders. Concussive shells definitely helping out with that. And Dreamer TT has enough forces now. He could actually split up and hit all of these different bases of Revival. Revival has all of his forces gathered at the 3rd, and you can see a fungal still not catching everything, so good splitting from Dreamer TT, and Revival still backed into that corner. Now there's a huge force outside of his natural as well that he's going to have to deal with.
And he may be able to successfully flank here in just a second. Dreamer TT hasn't had the best choice of engagements, but he's kind of just had enough stuff and did enough damage at the beginning that it's still okay for him. So he loses his entire army again. The resources lost, about 4,000 resources lost different. We do have 7 Infestors and Chitinous Plating for those Ultralisks on the way, but no Ultralisks to take advantage of those yet.
Not enough mineral income, actually, for Revival to be able to make use of those Ultras. He's got 2K gas, which is something you don't really see that much. When you're mineral blocked, 4 Infestors coming out, we can see a big fungal on those bio units. Marauders are really going to come in handy here as they stand up a little bit longer to those fungals and take out Roaches pretty handily. So Marauders definitely going to be that unit of choice, but Dreamer TT still making 10 Marines at a time. And these tanks are going to try and do their damage. There's one siege up in the back doing quite a lot, and Revival cannot get back to it. Dreamer TT streaming in double-digit bio units at a time. Mule drop from Dreamer TT to try and shut the door on TSL.
Wow, the Manor Mule there at the end, and Dreamer TT looks like he's advancing to victory here, not just for himself, but also for Incredible Miracle. Hive Tech going to be taken out once again. 78 supply and falling now for TSL Revival. There's GG, and Incredible Miracle has won the set.
Dreamer TT flexing his might a little bit. Maybe next time they come to San Francisco, they'll just leave happy at home and say, Dreamer